Welcome back, friend. Settle in. Today's story is one of those rare tales that sounds too strange to be true, but it is. And if you enjoy stories like this, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Now lean in. Imagine surviving the most destructive weapon humanity had ever created, only to find yourself in the crosshairs of it again just 3 days later. That's exactly what happened to one man. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi, and his life became a puzzle no one could explain. Let's begin in the summer of 1945 in a Japan already stretched thin by war. The city of Hiroshima was bustling despite the air raids. Factories hummed, trams rattled, and children played in the streets. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, a 29-year-old engineer, was there on a business trip for his employer, Mitsubishi. He was a quiet man, slender, with sharp features and dark hair always neatly combed. He wore the standard issue work clothes of the time, a simple button-up shirt, trousers, and a cap. His job was to design oil tankers, and on this trip, he was finalizing plans for a new ship. Little did he know, his life was about to change forever. August 6th, 1945, started like any other day. Yamaguchi finished his work early and was preparing to leave Hiroshima. He walked to the train station with two colleagues, Akira Iwanaga and Kuniyoshi Sato. The sky was clear, the air warm. As they crossed a bridge, Yamaguchi noticed a single American B-29 bomber flying high above. He pointed it out to his friends. They weren't alarmed after all. Lone planes were common, and Hiroshima had been spared the worst of the bombing raids. But this plane wasn't like the others. It carried a secret, one that would rewrite history. At 8:15 a.m., the bomber released its payload. A small parachute drifted down, and for a moment, the city held its breath. Then, the world exploded. A blinding flash of light, brighter than the sun, filled the sky. Yamaguchi later described it as a great bolt of lightning. He was thrown to the ground, his eardrums ruptured by the shockwave. When he looked up, the city was gone. Buildings had collapsed into rubble. Fires raged everywhere. People stumbled through the smoke, their clothes burned off, their skin hanging in strips. The air smelled like burning flesh. Yamaguchi's arms and face were badly burned, but he was alive. He had been just over a mile from the bomb's hypocenter. In the chaos, Yamaguchi found his colleagues. They were injured but alive. Together, they made their way to a shelter where they spent the night in agony. The next morning, Yamaguchi decided he had to get home. His wife, Hisako, and their infant son, Katsutoshi, were waiting for him in Nagasaki, 180 miles away. He didn't know if they were safe. He didn't know if he'd ever see them again, but he had to try. The journey was a nightmare. Trains were packed with wounded survivors, their bandages soaked in blood. Yamaguchi's burns made every movement excruciating. When he finally reached Nagasaki, he was barely conscious. His wife took him in, cleaned his wounds, and did her best to nurse him back to health. She had no idea what he had just survived. Neither did he, really. No one did. The world had never seen anything like this before. 3 days later, on August 9th, Yamaguchi was lying in bed, still weak from his injuries. His wife was out buying food. The radio crackled with news of another city, Hiroshima, being destroyed by a new kind of bomb. Yamaguchi tried to sit up. He needed to tell his boss what had happened. He needed to explain why he was late returning to work. So, despite his pain, he dragged himself to the Mitsubishi shipyard. His colleagues gathered around him, listening in shock as he described the horror he had witnessed. They didn't believe him. How could they? It sounded like madness. Then, at 11:02 a.m., the sky split open again. Another flash, another blast. Yamaguchi was thrown to the ground, his bandages torn off. This time, he was even closer to the hypocenter, just 2 miles away. The building collapsed around him. But somehow, he crawled out alive. The city was in ruins. Fires burned. People screamed. Yamaguchi's burns from Hiroshima had barely begun to heal, and now he was burned all over again. But he was alive. Against all odds, he had survived both atomic bombs. In the days that followed, Yamaguchi's story spread. Doctors examined him, searching for answers. How had he lived through not one, but two nuclear explosions? His burns were severe, but his internal organs seemed intact. His hair fell out, a common symptom of radiation sickness, but he didn't die. No one could explain it. Some called him a miracle. Others whispered that he was cursed. Yamaguchi himself didn't know what to think. He just wanted to go home. For years, Yamaguchi rarely spoke about what happened. Japan was rebuilding, and the world was moving on. But the memories never left him. He suffered from radiation-related illnesses for the rest of his life: cataracts, liver disease, cancer. His son, Katsutoshi, died of leukemia at the age of 59, a tragedy Yamaguchi believed was linked to the radiation he had been exposed to. His wife, Hisako, also developed cancer, though she lived to be 88. Yamaguchi carried the weight of those 2 days with him, like a shadow he could never outrun. In the 2000s, Yamaguchi began to share his story more openly. He wrote a memoir, gave interviews, and even spoke at the United Nations. He wanted the world to remember the horrors of nuclear war. He wanted people to understand what had happened to him, not as a miracle, but as a warning. In 2009, the Japanese government officially recognized him as a Niju Hibakusha, or double atomic bomb survivor. He was the only person ever to receive that designation. Tsutomu Yamaguchi died in 2010, at the age of 93. His life was a testament to resilience, but also to the randomness of fate. He had been in the wrong place at the wrong time, twice, and yet he had lived. Others around him had not been so lucky. The atomic bombs killed over 200,000 people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yamaguchi's survival was a fluke, a statistical impossibility. But it was also a reminder of how fragile life is and how quickly it can be taken away. Today, nuclear weapons are more powerful than ever. Countries around the world still stockpile them, as if they are a guarantee of safety rather than a threat to humanity. Yamaguchi's story forces us to ask, what does it mean to survive something like this? Is it luck? Fate? Or just the cruel irony of war? And if one man could live through 2 atomic bombs, what does that say about the millions who didn't? So what do you think? Was Yamaguchi's survival a miracle or a curse? Tell me in the comments. And if stories like this one stay with you long after the video ends, subscribe. The next one is already coming.